Philip Heisterkamp. Why does Jefferson matter to you?
Why does Jefferson matter? I mean, it's home. Like at some point in life, you've got to decide where home is going to be. And you don't treat home like you treat other places. Your house gets a little special attention, right? You mow your lawn a little special when it's your lawn. You take care of your stuff a little special. And so Jefferson matters because it's mine. Because I chose Jefferson, and in a way, Jefferson has accepted me as one of theirs. And since it's mine, I'm gonna treat it a little extra special.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the very first episode of Behind What Matters with a guest, Philip Heisterkamp. Glad to have you here. Hopefully you caught our intro episode that had our full staff of myself and Emily Roner and Kevin Paulson. Catch that if you didn't. You want to get a little context about what we're trying to do here and why we're doing it. And really honored to have Philip Heisterkamp here with us. And we'll learn a little bit about Philip and who he is and why who he is. And got to just hear a little bit why Jefferson matters to him. But we're going to be focusing on the Bell Tower Festival a lot today, too. So, Philip, you mentioned that Jefferson is home to you. You grew up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure did.
Went to school here. Mm-hmm. And your folks have lived here that entire time. So give us a little bit about what brought you back here. Well, why did Jefferson still feel like home after going out and you went to college, you saw the world a little bit, and then what was that pull back here to Jefferson for you?
Yeah, nowhere else felt quite like home. And you spend time a little bit here, a little bit there, lived in multiple cities, and I just couldn't get away from Jefferson. I tried. And I feel like maybe every kid has that era in life where you're like, I'm never going back there, or you have mixed memories, some good, some bad. Some relationships are awesome. Some relationships get tainted over time. That's just part of life in a way. But there was nothing that deterred me from coming here, and I had other deterrents that prevented me from going elsewhere. So the call was here, and I just answered.
Awesome. It is interesting to be able to go out and see the world. I love that. We want to keep our high school graduates, of course, and if we can train them here, we can do this. The homegrown talent here, we'll do that. But that's not for everybody. That's not the reality that everybody will just stay right here. But we hope that there's enough of a seed planted here that you'll want to come back and nurture that. And especially maybe when it's time to, raise a family. It's a fantastic place to raise a family. They can, ride their bikes down the street. You can go for walks with the family. When they get a little older, like my kids, you're comfortable with them walking to dance or riding their bike to their friend's house or whatever it may be. And, folks are looking out for your kids and all that good stuff. So we are tickled that you made Jefferson your home once again with your family and your businesses, really, right? And now you're going to be a landlord.
Sure.
So yeah, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So you've been a chiropractor for now how long here in Jefferson?
Pushing 9 years.
9 years, gosh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to have a big 10th celebration for you next year.
That could be legit. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Big 10-year reunion.
I like that.
Or
anniversary.
And there it is. Yeah. That's the word.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Make no bones about it. Right. So, okay. Yeah. We'll minimize chiropractor puns today, but, but now you have from your former building on the east side of the square, you have a space that's ready to be a Airbnb. Yeah.
That's right. I'm pretty much as proud of that thing as like anything I've ever done. Just it was a raw, rough space before. And I mean, I certainly didn't do all the remodel because I'm a wannabe handyman. I'm not a handyman, but I can muddle through some things. But the way it turned out, and it just got painted and it looks astounding. And I'm like a proud parent of that thing right now that this little Airbnb exists. So yeah,
where does that really strong sense of pride come from? Do you think from this space? Like why are you feeling so strongly about that? It's not the first time you've told me that.
It was hard. It was hard. It comes from doing things that are hard, and
Amen.
Opening a business is hard, and being a parent is hard, and creating kids. I mean, humans are the only, you can't just make a kid in a factory, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have to make a
literally
kid
growing
with
it.
yourself. Your own essence is in a kid. It's hard. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to do that. And this was difficult because it put me outside my comfort zone. And I've learn to try to embrace those opportunities. Like, I don't have problems. I have opportunities. I have opportunities to try to grow and stretch and learn. And I don't know what it is about me that is just obsessed or addicted to that kind of a process, but I just can't. I can sit. I do like to sit. I'll sit and watch a Minnesota Viking football game for 3 hours, but eventually I just got to be going for something.
Well, that's a great lead into the fact that you have kind of been at the helm of the Bell Tower Festival now for 4 years.
This
five?
is five. Yeah, five.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
5. And I think you summed up yourself quite well there in your approach to the festival, and you're a doer. You're pushing yourself and others outside their comfort zone. You're trying new things. You do hard things, and boy, does it feel gratifying at the end. And I think the entire community can see that too, and feels very gratified by where the festival is right now. And I know that you are, as you said recently, you've got 9 toes out. And we're ready to pass that baton and that momentum on. And you've got the festival at a tremendous place right now. And I think it's as strong as it probably ever has been. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that looks like here this year. But, tell me a little bit about how you decided to step into this role 5-ish, 6 years ago, whatever it may be.
Well, in 5 or 6 years, I suppose it was before I came back, and I came back for the Bell Tower Festival, and I was with my siblings, and as you do with your siblings, we were just reminiscing about what we remember from childhood, and with respect, it felt like the festival was just missing that charm that was there before, and the reason the festival is what it is now is just because I'm standing on the shoulders of people who have set the scene. I in no way, shape, or form want to take credit, or do I want to disillusion the effort that went into what was going on. I just knew like it could be better, and I'm an idea guy. Like they come fast and furious, and so it was just we could do this, we could do this, we could do that. And then when I actually came back, somebody asked me to be involved, and I thought that was just like a clear sign from above. That's like, hey, here you thought it before. Here's the actual opportunity, so let's go for it.
Well, some really great things you hit on there. Number one, that all of this is just a continual momentum builder and continually building on the efforts of others. And, it is all a volunteer thing. So a lot of people who have given a lot, and we all just keep growing on each other and all that good stuff. But that power of being asked, and that's what we talk about. We've got a core, including the Bell Tower team.
Yeah.
Within the Jefferson Matters family, probably 100 and some volunteers. And really, it's about being asked. You could put out, hey, help needed for this or that. And maybe you get a few folks. But the people who are involved, we always encourage them. Who's one person in your circle that you think this matches with? You know them. You know what this responsibility is. Find one person you think could do that. And that direct ask, is it. And when we hosted RAGBRAI in 2018 and got you and Bridget involved, it's those direct ask. And it's all that, just continually asking directly. It's very powerful. And and you felt honored to be asked, because that's what I'm hearing anyway.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you want me to help? Well, that's cool. Yeah. And it's hard because I don't want, we're very Midwest. I don't want to put somebody out and that's so, but no, it is a really great thing. And for new folks coming to town too, that's a great way to get them involved and make them feel a part of it, even though you're asking them to do things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they have strengths. Everyone has a strength.
Right.
And I certainly have weaknesses, but it's when you put a team together, it's about identifying their strength, getting them in that one role that they flourish at, and that fills their cup in a way, the thing that they're passionate about. And then you try to don't put them in an area where they're going to hate life in their volunteer role, you know? So I still remember, it's a person who is in a position of authority in our community still. And he goes, hey, we need you for this thing. We need your ideas. And he isolated this thing in me that just like lit me up. Like, oh, I got ideas, man. I can come with some ideas. That's the easy part. And then, the secondary reason why I've stayed involved is because it's brought out the best in me in a way. It gave me an opportunity to learn and grow and stretch myself that I didn't have in a different arena. And I don't think I'm totally unique that way, but I needed that. I wanted it. I wanted to run towards it. And the festival it developed me in a way that I wasn't developing in other areas of life.
It is a great way to really feel like you're giving to the community and making a difference. And the community more than doubles in size, this weekend of the event. And the impact is the biggest of anything you do all year. So that I can understand that feeling of fulfillment and it's more than ideas. You're more than just ideas. And that really is a great strength of yours and challenging things. And, but you also do a great job of inspiring people and unifying people. And you can toss ideas out there, but people might just look at you like you're crazy and not follow along. But
that certainly happens.
And that's all part of it. I understand that feeling as well. Yeah. But being able to, convince people and inspire people to want to buy in, and you do a good job of getting a buy-in, and that's, proof in the pudding, as we'll see again this year. So, let's talk about the theme this year. Tell us about that.
The theme, a high time to chime.
High time to chime.
High time to chime.
Walk us through that a little bit. We're like, I understand that came out of your mind.
Yeah.
That came from your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tell us about it, because that's fun. It's a fun, different lean in on the bell tower.
Yeah. So, and it's America's 250th birthday from 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, according to what I think I know about history, which is more than just National Treasure. But it's like time to watch National Treasure right now, right? But 250 years, and you see that theme popping up all over different businesses and companies. And it was actually my friend Josh Dyer, who is a history teacher. It was his idea 2 years ago. He said, hey, think about this for your future year. We were thinking about the 2025 theme, and he goes, put this in the back of your head. And it was a done deal since then.
Nice.
So he gets credit for recognizing the 250th. And then, I had several bad slogan ideas before.
That's all part of the process, isn't it? Yeah.
High Time to Chime finally came out, and I was pleased that anybody thought it was clever. I wasn't sure whether it would hit or miss, but
well, it's fun. And it is a different take on the idea of the tower and the bells and stuff. So that's fun to have something a little different. And then, of course, your wife is an excellent graphic designer. So what a fun duo there. You guys come up with a lot of fun ideas every year. And the imagery, the graphics are always very professional looking. So we're excited. You guys are such a great contribution to the community, and this event is, like you said, a good spot for you both to shine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about some of the things that are there any new things for this year?
Yes, indeed. There are some new things. And like the first new things that popped into head is Thursday night, because Thursday night is this kickoff party of the festival. It used to be only Friday, Saturday. Well, why not Thursday? Why not make it a little bit more of a thing? So Thursday, no outside vendors are coming yet. They come Friday, Saturday. We'll have 30 plus food trucks. That's just Friday, Saturday. The carnival sets up Friday, Saturday. Thursday is community night. Everything's free. The games and activities, inflatables will be free. And then there's a dinner. We call it the community dinner. Now that you pay for the dinner, but that's because it's going to be a pretty amazing quality. All the chapters in our county that are producers, cattlemen, pork, lamb. We're one of the only counties in Iowa, let alone maybe the Midwest, that still has a lamb producing chapter. They're going to come out with their grills. They'll grill meat. You get to select your meat, and then go through a buffet line of Hy-Vee's delectable sides and dessert on top of that. So
fun.
Yeah, very fun.
And
it's community barbecue, backyard barbecue,
Love that.
right in our downtown. So
yeah, just another way of growing sense of community, bringing people together. That's what it's all about. And I love that idea. So I can't wait to see how many folks come out for that. I think that'll be really well attended, and free is fun. That's always great. Good way to get people out, and that's something that essentially the festival is kind of giving back in that way, and getting out. Sure, there's plenty of ways to spend money the next couple of days, but this is just a good way to get people out and get them in the groove that the festival's here and going to be great.
Because the festival can get expensive in a way when you think about, you're going to come downtown, you're going to eat, you're going to come downtown and pay for food, pay for drinks, to get on the carnival. So Thursday is just, it is that giving back. You can come down and be entertained for free.
Yes.
So there's the karaoke contest. There's the Apple Anything Bake Off on Thursday. There's bingo on Thursday, and it's like you pay $1 to play, or it's like 10 or $20 to play for 2 hours with a lot of added money for prizes. So, I mean, this is very low budget, lots of free, big foam party. Mm-hmm. The kids go
Always fun.
nuts with the foam party. So that's coming back again, and Thursday night will be fun.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, are there any new competitions Friday, Saturday going on?
Friday is the Jenga tournament, Matt.
Friday's the Jenga tournament.
The Bell Tower Festival is all about this tower, and that we've been consistently trying to think of ways to reincorporate the tower into the festival. It's not just a booze fest, right?
Right.
Like, alcohol is a key part of us making a profit. We want people to have a good time, but oh boy, there's more than just that. So,
all right,
a 2-on-2 parent-kid Jenga tournament.
Okay.
That's the idea. One member's got to be 12 or under. Okay. The other's got to be 12 or older, or ideally 18 or over.
Yeah.
And big old Jenga competition.
Okay, Jenga competition. Got that. What else?
Got that. Competitions. We have, pickleball has come on like a storm this past few years.
Yep.
We have the Big Bags tournament on Saturday. There's the trivia contest that's also on Saturday. There's so much. The Parks and Rec does the basketball and the disc golf and
Ding Dong Dash.
Ding Dong Dash, correct. Someone just messaged me yesterday and said we need sand volleyball again. So sand volleyball is now gonna happen again.
Any mud volleyball this year?
We haven't cracked the code on how to do mud volleyball.
It's a tough spot to be able to do that. Okay.
And we need a good location.
Sand volleyball is there. Good. Yep.
We might need another sand volleyball court over there. Cool. If there's enough space, we need another court,
Fair.
2 side by side, but
good.
Yeah.
All right. What about some of the entertainment?
Yes. So this is where we have excellent relationships with the county supervisors and the city council, who they both help. And so with their donations, we are renting a power and light stage, like big time, like professional, like a sound technician.
Yeah.
So for the musicians, it's awesome because they roll up on the stage, plug their instrument in, play away. When they're done, unplug, and you're on your way. So there's not the effort for setup and tear down. So we have Des Moines Band of the Year from a year or two ago. It's called The Sheet.
They're great. They're
great. They were at Public House for the Public House's opening. They're a big band for Friday. And then Pop Rocks, the one of the greatest Midwest traveling bands that there is. And
they talk about being sort of for the short attention span crowd, and they just kind of hit a handful of bars of all the popular songs, and they move on to the next thing. They move on, and they're dressed up as all the singers, right? Yeah.
The impersonators.
Yes.
And I mean, as far as like a show goes, you're going to get a show with Pop Rocks on Saturday
fun,
night.
Dancing and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So the city and the county, volunteers, but also we've got local businesses and folks that financially help support the festival. Do you want to mention any of those folks?
Yeah, there's a couple folks who, the relationship is when I call, they're like, they already understand the mission and the vision, and it's just what do you need? And so Home State Bank is a big one, and they do a lot through the community, and they do a lot for the festival, both Hy-Vee and Gary Jensen there at Hy-Vee, and then Keith Voss with Fairway have been outstanding. Like, where do these guys come from? I mean, they are just mutants with how awesome and giving they are. And so they've been outstanding. Annual givers who they always pitch in. You've got People's Bank. You've got Wild Rose Casino. You've got Jefferson Telecom. And I mean, if I were to forget, I don't think I'm going to forget anybody massive. The hospital, the Greene County Medical Center, they put on the golf tournament that goes on Friday. Yeah. There's some outstanding. Yep. And then, I mean, those are the big dogs, the corporate guys. Then there's a lot of little dogs that play special roles too. Sure. So I could go on, and we, that's a whole other podcast if you want to talk about sponsors, but we will be making a dedicated effort to take pictures and give spotlights and make sure that those people feel seen and heard. Cause, there would be no festival without private donations. There wouldn't be one. It doesn't, we need them. We need all the help from all the different places.
Excellent. Yeah. Big thank you to everybody who participates, whether it's with your time or your money or donated goods. really takes all of us, to bring this tide very high and raising all ships, and we see that with visitors coming to be a part of this. We see people taking pride in the community, and we see a lot of fun being had. And it really is continuing to elevate, I think. And I know you guys had set up a kind of an internal goal of making it the best small town festival in Iowa. Yeah. And who says it's not? Who says it's not? I mean, I think this year we're going to really feel that experience go even higher. And on that note, we are going to try something new this year, and we're going to have it'll be accessible on the web or as an app. And so we're going to do this have this resource where you can see where all the things are happening. There'll be pins on a map. You can click on these pins. You can see the big stage full schedule and see who's going to be there when, the small stage and what's happening there, the carnival, and the offsite things. You can see what food vendors and other vendors are going to be here. So we're going to have that ready ahead of time. And we are going to make this as family-friendly as possible, as user-friendly as possible, and excited about trying something new here. And again, just trying to kind of elevate that user experience a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the carnival. Tell us about this same carnival company you've had in the past couple of years, correct? Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the format this year and what we're trying to do.
Yes, this is new for sure, is the concept of wristbands. And before, without going into all the numbers, you would have to pay for a punch card. And so you're essentially paying $3 to $5 to go on a single ride. And so that can add up quickly. And when there's 7, 8, 9, 10 different things that you can engage in, it costs quite a lot per kid. So the wristband is one price, $30, unlimited rides all day long. Nice. So it's Friday would be a different color of wristband, and Saturday would be a different color. So it's technically $30 a day for your kid to ride unlimited, but unlimited being the key factor,
Really a pretty great deal overall. And that's the kind of thing that, we're making an initial investment with the company to be able to do that. So again, thank you to the sponsor support we have to be able to do that.
I've got to talk about my parents for a second too. And,
yes, please.
And Tim, my dad, who Journey Financial. Mm-hmm. So he's of the upper echelon of sponsors, both financially and with his time. Yeah. And so you got a pen of his?
Sure do.
So he's helping the fundraising process to make this possible. So I've needed him in more than one way, and I'd be dead in the water in more than one way without him. Yeah. So,
yeah, he is. I know he's been out and knocking on doors and having these conversations, and he's highly respected around the community, and folks listen when he speaks, not just about the Bell Tower Festival, but obviously about investments and planning and all those good things. And so we're really fortunate to have him be a part of all this, as well as your mom.
Yeah, my mom. I mean, yeah, she knows more than I do about the festival at this point. She is my right hand. She is my treasurer and everything. So, I mean, we probably have, this is a weird time of year where we have more conversations about festival than we do like family stuff, So, and we're still doing it. We get along very, very, very well, and we think the same. And so, without Tim and Chris Heisterkamp, oh boy.
What I love is when we're in some of these planning meetings and you have, one of your famous new ideas, and I just kind of like glancing over at your mom and watching her face. I'm like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll do it.
We'll do it. Yes. She's a gamer.
Yeah.
It's
pretty great.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of like, all right, well, here we go. Here's next. Yep. So, I think people don't realize some of the, thinking about some of the things your mom does that people don't see, that we see, that, it's helping figure out if you're going to do bingo and you're going to do any of these things, you got to go through the state and get gaming licenses. And you have to, and Candace Luke heads up the brew station right now, and the work that goes into the legalities of that and the permits we have to do. And I mean, there's so much. And this year the state changed some things and it made it a lot more complicated for all of us, right? So the legwork and the persistence that happens from these ladies to make things function is worth noting, I think.
Yeah. Chris is a strategist. Candace Luke is an immaculate strategist. You know, and I was just in a meeting with Jackie Cunningham, Shelby Wiggins, Emily Earps, trying to throw as many names in there. They're amazing and taking on a huge brunt of the festival. So the Justin Luke, the Josh Monty, the Luke Winkleman.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say that should be noted too. Some of those folks, the logistics of setting things up on Wednesday, Thursday is I mean,
it's fun.
I don't know how we're going to find the matches for them when they decide they've had enough, but we're going to have to keep working on that because go ahead, name those guys again and whoever else is their key role.
And then because there'll be times where I think we are at a roadblock, like this is a problem, and I'll go to Josh Monty, Justin Luke, or Luke Winkleman, and I'll tell them what's going on, and they're like, Philip, that's not a problem.
Problem solvers.
Correct. Yes, they are problem solvers. Yeah. So they, where I thought we were in big trouble, they are good at what I am not. You know, back to that wannabe handyman. They are actually handymen.
Yeah, so. They are. And you say, hey, we want this to happen, or this needs to happen, and you have confidence they're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
It really is impressive. And those guys, really, really awesome and generous with their time. Also, a lot of their machinery and tools. That you and I certainly don't have access to.
It's fun.
It's really great. It just takes so many people on so many levels. And like you mentioned, I think being able to come down and watch some of that is fun to see. And tell us a little bit about what people are going to see at the brew station this year. I mean, what's the tent thing and what's the
brew station, like? You know, and it's all about using alcohol responsibly. You know, we're not trying to get outlandish at all. And it's, we have always had a 20 by 40 tent. And so we had a great relationship with Legacy Events, the McConnells, who were right here in town, some Jeffersonians, and they transitioned business models. So their stuff was up for sale. So we were able to invest and buy some things that they had. We've always had a 20 by 40 tent, 800 square feet. Now we have a 30 by 60 tent, which is 1,800 square feet. So our footprint just doubled and then some. So it's just more room for activities. You know, we can do these fun relationship building things like bourbon tastings and wine tastings. We can play poker in there. We can have a special poker table. We can, if it rains, nobody has to go home. We can pile under a tent in a way and just kind of keep having the celebration in the way that it's supposed to be done. So
out of the rain, out of the sun, all the good, just one more level of investment. And all right, we're going to buzz through some topics real quickly here. And I know we didn't cover everything here, but we're going to tell you how to find out more about everything in just a sec too. But so some quick responses here. Tell me, fill in these questions here, or answer the end of these. The Bell Tower Festival isn't complete without
attending the parade and being downtown after the parade on Saturday when it's at its peak.
Okay. One thing first-time visitors should do is
go to the top of the bell tower.
Well, it's fun to go up there and look down at the whole scene from up there too. The whole square is full. The most underrated part of the festival. That's a tough one.
The most underrated. I could say watching the setup is the most underrated. Like you could park Thursday at 8 a.m. and watch for 3 or 4 hours, and you'd probably be like, "Whoa!"
You could even step in and lend a hand.
You could step in and lend a hand. We need that for sure.
I might add one of the more underrated parts is helping tear down on Saturday.
Tear down. It is
Saturday
a
night
spectacle.
Yep.
Yes. There's machinery. There's sweat. There's and certainly accepting volunteer opportunities for that, right? Correct.
Volunteers. All right. The event that takes the most planning and behind the scenes.
The event, like the one aspect, the one event.
Yeah.
Probably the Thursday night kickoff party. If you rope that into one event.
Okay.
That's a big one.
What one word best describes this year's festival?
Top notch.
Ah, okay.
Or, I mean, just,
We'll allow hyphenated. That's fine.
okay, next level, just extravagant.
Okay. Yeah, can be probably one of the biggest we've had in several years. Yes.
And literally things are getting bigger, like
Yes.
bigger tents,
Yes.
bigger stages, like things are literally bigger. So, I mean, just bigger.
All right. Now you get one word. There's a few quick hitters here. Okay. First word that comes to mind when I say parade.
Fireman,
Okay. Saturday night.
relaxation,
Live music.
bumping,
Brew station.
fiasco,
Carnival.
joy.
Okay, those are great. Now, I want to be able to give this opportunity too, because this whole thing doesn't happen, A, without volunteers, but B, without support of, you mentioned the city and the county. Both their time and finances make a big difference here. We wouldn't be able to do without their support.
Right.
But any other last notes of things that we haven't said that you think people need to know about?
No, I think we should do another wrap-up podcast with just the whole team, just 2-minute interviews with each person. Just
That'd be
to,
awesome.
what does Jefferson mean? What does Jefferson mean to you?
Yeah.
What was your role with the festival? But
You think we should do that post festival?
maybe before,
Right
or
before
right
when people
after,
are still-
right after. Maybe if anybody's still on their feet.
Yeah, maybe
afterwards.
maybe we'll have Emily and I out on the street during the festival and get some real time interactions.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just want to triple down and say that I get to be the guy in the chair, but it's the team. It's the team. It's the team of 15, 20, 25 people that makes this thing go. And it is amazing. And the festival, we are attempting to have something for everyone there. And there used to be a tradition of locals leaving town because the festival was just annoying. And I still get that. If you're that introverted person and for some reason you're still listening to this podcast, I don't blame you for wanting to avoid what comes with the festival. But if you're willing to enjoy it and lean into it and see it as an opportunity for some of the greatest relationships to reconnect and be built, that's what I've gotten from it for sure. So
Perfect. Well, what you just said shows why you're a great leader, acknowledging the team, and on behalf of the entire community, thank you for the last 5+ years of your leadership in this role, and we're going to be so excited for this year's festival. If you want to get signed up for any of the events, we have the Bell Tower Festival website, Facebook page, so on and so forth. You can find the information there. All the places to sign up for all the great things will be right there, and we'll have a link here in the description. So if you don't subscribe to the Jefferson Matters YouTube channel, do that, and then you get a notification when these things air. Follow the socials, all that good stuff, and that's the way you can find out when this is going to be coming out or when the next ones will be coming out. Philip, thank you so much for your time here and this insight and for your leadership, and we're excited to have a very big celebration of the U.S. 250th in Bell Tower Festival style. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.